To see Lady Farina? Well, it seems Lady Farina has come to see you.
So, she's the Hydro Archon? But how did she know we were looking for her?
My dear people, rich and poor, those with cup in hand and those with nothing at all, raise your glasses in celebration! If you don't have one, then just raise your hand in lieu. As you can all see, two unfamiliar travelers have arrived in our nation. Come, let us make a toast in honor of this traveler and his companion who have journeyed here from distant lands.
Is she talking about us?
I've long heard of the turmoil and chaos you've left in your wake as you visited other nations. But I welcome you nevertheless. No, I have come to receive you personally. Fear is for insignificant cowards. I am a god, and I will never entertain the notion of such meaningless wariness. You can be rest assured. I see clearly your sincerity. Of course, seeking an audience with me is the most sensible thing to do. It will allow you to truly behold my power and witness my authority. I, Focalor, hereby welcome you to the nation of Hydro and acknowledge the value and significance of your trip. Now, you may rejoice in this.
Yeah, Paimon still can't believe it. Feels like we've only been here for a few minutes. But the Hydro Archon's entrance was, how should Paimon describe it? A little, Miss Hydro Archon? How did you know we were coming?
I see. As Outlanders, you inevitably lack even some of the most basic understanding. Don't forget that even the gods can be divided into the mediocre and the excellent. I suppose it's only natural for you to be awestruck by my abilities. You had best stop and consider. Do you really have the noble qualities and etiquette necessary to communicate with a god? All it takes is a flick of my finger for me to know everything about you.
Whoa, talk about sounding high and mighty.
Oh? What's with these looks? Perhaps the welcoming ceremony still isn't enough? What else should
Is she waiting for us to start talking?
Wow, I didn't expect to see Lady Farina. Wait, does this mean they're the legendary blonde traveler? How did I not notice before?
Hey, what's all the commotion? Oh, is that Lady Farina?
Of course. That's the blonde traveler, the one all those stories are about. Lady Farina came here to personally see him. Oh, I bet this is going to be the duel of the century.
Ooh, I've got to see this. I knew Lady Farina would never disappoint.
Yes, but don't get too excited now. My dear believers and spectators alike tend to get quite rowdy. And despite them, you may consider this my reward to all of you. I have determined that there will be an epic duel.
Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves?
Are you not afraid? Might I remind you that this is...
What are you trying to do, traveler? Provoking a god in front of her people?
Stand down, Clorinde. I admire his bravery. Few have the courage to draw their sword against a god. Unfortunately, people nowadays only crave to be thrilled, and a mere duel will not slake their thirst for
Yeah, she's right. Just a duel would...
On Araneus, criminals are always requesting duels to defend their honor. They're getting a bit old, to tell the truth.
You see. Then, as the...
Oh,
Right, this is Fontaine, after all.
Why do you care so much about the crowd's reactions? Seems you've spent a little too much time with. Besides, how exactly do you plan to have a duel in court? You mean you're going to put us on trial?
Oh, according to Fontaine law, no one is permitted to release any flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first...
Oh, so that's what they've done wrong.
You call that obvious? What kind of law is that? Wait, flying object?
You mean precisely! Now, if you two have no objections, then...
My apologies, Lady Farina. I don't mean to spoil the fun. I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a flying...
You tell her, Linny! Finally someone who's not crazy.
Great magician, Linny. My...
As a magician who just rained on your parade, I naturally should shoulder the responsibility. So, with such an audience gathered here...
Ta-da!
What's that on Paimon's back? Hey, when did you do that?
There. As you can all clearly see, Paimon should be classified as, well, something like a balloon. This rope has been in the trap...
You call that?
I thought it was pretty good. Nice one.
huh. I'm not sure what to think.
Amusing. Very amusing, Linny. Just the sort...
Performance? You see all...
In which case, consider the matter of your trial resolved. The god of just that. When there are valid grounds, I will not only, but even the gods of other lands. I look forward to seeing your upcoming performance at the Opera House.
Just like that! She's gone! Well, that's the most unpredictable Archon Paimon's ever seen. You never even had a chance to ask her anything. But that's a problem for future Paimon.
Don't mention it. I just happened to remember that there was such a law, so I did a little preparation, just in case. I didn't think it would actually come in handy. So, now do you see...
She can be a bit confusing at times, but she is still amenable to reason.
Anyway, Paimon had no idea you were a magician, Linny.
I just know a few simple tricks I use. It will actually be my first time performing on the most prestigious stage in Fontaine.
But isn't the Opera House where criminals...
When there are no public trials being held, the Opera House hosts a variety of other performances. And speaking of performances, I would be remiss to forego this opportunity.
My brother's always excited to make...
Oh, sure. We don't really have anything to do now.
Splendid. In that case, why don't we go... Oh, you really mean... This is a magical item known as a magic pocket.
Huh? What are they going to use it for?
About that... I'm not sure exactly when it began, but It says that every person in Fontaine is born with sin. No matter how the nation of justice holds trial after trial, this sin cannot be absolved. Until one day, the water levels in Fontaine will rise, and the sinful people will slowly be drowned. In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine...
That sounds pretty gloomy. Why are people...
There are lots of guesses. Some say that the ancestors of Fontaine stole the power of the seas and stirred its wrath. Others say that the people of Fontaine never heeded the first Hydro Archon's warnings and offended Celestia. But here in Fontaine, evidence is what matters. There hasn't been concrete evidence for any of these claims, so...
If even the people in Fontaine don't know what sin they committed, wouldn't it be better...
That's exactly what the people did at first. But in the last...
Many places have already been completely submerged.
Many people carry on with their lives as before and shrug it off as a natural phenomenon. But my family and I, we hope that at least the people who reside near the waterfront can move away before it's too late. So, as a magical item, these magic pockets have astonishing capacity.
Oh, Hyman gets it! It's like preparing for a rainy day! But this is more than...
Perhaps only absolute power could ever contend with such a catastrophe. But who knows? Now, if you'd like to help, then please give these magic pockets to anyone nearby. Be sure to convince...
What's this? So you also...
What? You mean...
No, I believe in... The story says that people once lived in the ocean. They were one with the ocean and couldn't live apart from it. But as time wore on, people desired to live on land and developed blood vessels, encapsulating the sea within their bodies. Thus could people set foot on land. So, if you ask me, when the water rises and takes us all, it'll be like we're going home.
Oh, we hadn't heard that one before. But people can't live underwater. They'll die. You should probably still take it.
All right, I'll take it. I guess I just feel that being dissolved into the water doesn't necessarily mean death.
So you're the blonde traveler that everyone's been talking about. My apologies for not recognizing you earlier. Oh, a magic pocket? Thanks.
My apologies.
Who's our target this time?
Huh? I don't... Life is all about living in the moment. What use is there in worrying about the...
You should still take it.
Oh, all right, fine. Thanks. It's just that...
Oh? You already handed out all of the magic pockets? That was fast. So, yes, but that will change once disaster strikes. I know the...
Is there anything else you need to do?
Yes, one last thing. I have the magic pockets made by a workshop in the court of Fontaine. Since we're out and about, I was thinking about bringing...
So, you want to collect materials? Just tell us what the materials look like.
Oh, that would be much appreciated. We'll need some romaritime flowers. I remember seeing them near the waterfront on the east side of the harbor.
It seems we have to use hydro to collect for maritime flowers.
Chivalry will never die.
You made quick work of that. I can tell you're an experienced traveler. Maybe next time you'll feel like help.
No way. I'm in power saving mode today.
Fine. Though the performance is still...
So, we're going to the Court of Fontaine before we head to the Opera House?
Wait, shh. Have you noticed that person over there? The young girl.
Huh? What's wrong with her? Hyman?
She's obvious. Magicians and thieves practice similar methods. We divert attention, and a distracted audience is one that won't discover what you're really doing. Watch her movements carefully.
Oh, he's right!
Shh, keep your voice down. We need to think of a way to catch her, but it seems she's very alert. Perhaps we should split up. You two can ride the lift over there and wait up top. I bet that'll be her. All right.
This is the spot where Linny wanted us to wait. Oh, look! Isn't that her? Oh no! Did she notice us? What should we do? Should we chase her? You're right. She might also... Nothing's happened for a while now. Paimon wonders if Linny caught the thief. Yeah, let's go.
Are you sure that's all she took? You should check to make sure you're not missing anything else.
No, that was all. Oh, I can't thank you enough. I didn't notice. Anyway, I should...
Oh, were you returning what the thief had stolen?
That's right. Pity I wasn't able to catch her. She distracted me by dropping the thing she stole on the ground.
I saw the general direction she went, but Lenny twisted his ankle, and I needed to make sure he was okay.
Oh, did you get hurt, Lenny?
I'll be all right. It's just a twisted ankle,
If you want to play at being a hero, at least try not to get hurt doing it. Imagine what would happen if you managed to derail our performance as a result.
You're right, you're right. I have to admit that the thief was even more skilled than I had anticipated. But at least we were able to get the stolen items back, so it wasn't a complete failure.
What a slippery little thief. Guess things turned out all right in the end, though.
All right, let's put this little detour
So, we ride this thing to go into the city? What an ingenious way to get around. People in Fontaine...
This is an aqua bus. It allows people to travel between several... It's pretty convenient, but the ride can become a little dull after a while. The scenery is always the same.
So you mean it's still boring, even when I'm...
No, that's not what I meant. It's just, besides, it doesn't really feel like a real trip when it's just the two of us.
Guess that's what it's like to be an older...
It's about time for us to leave. Let's get on board.
Huh?
What? Traveler! Paimon!
Charlotte!
Oh, I never guessed I'd bump into you while riding the aqua bus. In the story of my life, what are you doing in Fontaine? I didn't hear anything about you paying us a visit.
Yeah, it's quite the coincidence. But as travelers, we're always on the move. Though we still have no idea how the Hydro Archon knew about us.
Oh, no need for introductions, Paimon. I would recognize I wouldn't be much of a reporter if I didn't know who they were. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Charlotte, a reporter for the Steambird.
Nice to meet you. From the Steambird, huh? We've often relied on your paper to promote our performance.
It's an honor to meet you.
Now that everyone knows each other, Fontaine suddenly doesn't feel like such a... So, what have you been up to lately, Charlotte?
Not too much. When there isn't any breaking news, I mainly cover the trials at the Opera House. You can still manage to keep readers' attention as long as you tell things from a clever enough angle, even if it's the same old topics. For example, reporting on how a scammer once deceived vulnerable girls into relationships, or how a financial criminal was once so poor that they ate a single piece of bread for 5 days. Ah, you're right. Seems you know me pretty well. What I'm really after is exclusive, sensational news pieces that could... Oh, I just remembered. I've been following a case lately.
You mean the serial disappearances of young women case?
That's right. These stories are the talk of the town right now. And if I'm the first with a draft ready to publish when the case is finally cracked, oh, when that happens, I bet all the other reporters will shed tears.
So, what is the serial...
That's right. The first missing girl case happened almost 20 years ago. And ever since, after a period of time, another girl disappears. What the cases have in common is that the girls are... But the scariest part is that to this day, none of the... Many suspects have been arrested over the years in connection with this case, but shortly after each arrest, another disappearance would always happen. Yes, it's possible. But either way, I believe that...
Yes, I agree. And at the very least, the family of those missing girls deserves some sort of... I just imagined for a second what I would do if Lynette were to suddenly disappear. I'd pay any price to get her back, and then find a way to track down the...
Please don't imagine that, Lenny.
Well, I really enjoyed chatting with you. Yeah, us as well. I have an interview to get to. I should get... Okay, Paimon hopes we can... Bye now. Oh, be sure to stop by and see... What a tough job. Always running around.
If you don't mind, how about we stop by my home first?
Sure, we wouldn't mind at all.
Take it easy.
This is our current abode. Ah, Fremine, you're home. Where did everyone else go?
Oh, they all just went out a moment.
I see. Everyone is getting busier now that Father will be returning soon. Allow me to introduce you to my little brother, Fremine. He is a phenomenal diver.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. Oh, you sound very proud to have a diver as a brother, Linny.
Linny, could you come here?
What is it, Fremine? Do you have something to tell me? Okay, I see.
Is everything all right?
Oh, it's nothing. We were just discussing... Oh, before I forget, the Traveler and I...
Yes, I went diving and gathered lots of materials.
That's our Fremine, always quick with the underwater work.
Looks like rain.
Oh, you're right. But wasn't it clear and sunny just a moment ago?
I'm afraid that's just how it is here. It often rains on days where there are...
What's wrong, Fremine?
There's a legend about the rain that I tend to believe. It's said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Though we don't know where the dragon went, every time it weeps, the skies will cloud up and pour. When I was a child, my mother told me that if I wanted to go outside and play, I should yell toward the sky at the top of my lungs. Hydro Dragon! Hydro Dragon! Don't cry!
If it's an elemental dragon, then having the power to make it rain wouldn't be... Let Paimon try something. Hydro Dragon! Hydro Dragon! Don't cry!
Doesn't seem to be of any use. It is just a legend after all.
You know, you might be a more popular magician if you understood the concept of romanticism. Or could at least play along.
Sorry. It might be because we've never met the Hydro Dragon. It rained for longer than I suspected.
Was there something you needed?
Yeah, on the day of the performance, just ride the aquabus to the island of Araneus. What is it, Fremine? I'm in a hurry. Oh, I get it. Perhaps we could trouble the Traveler to help us take... I'm afraid that Fremine can be quite introverted. And the...
No trouble at all! Don't worry!
Sorry for the inconvenience.
Oh, no need!
Oh, hello there. New customers? Looking to buy, or do you need something made? Or perhaps you're just looking for a chat with me.
Oh no, we're just here to deliver some materials. Here they are.
Ah, these must be for Magic Pockets. I could tell right away. I've already made several. No need. They've already prepaid several batches worth. When they told me what they'd be using them for, I even offered them a discount. But they insisted on paying the full amount, saying that I had a business to run. It seems both their hearts and their pockets are made of gold.
Wow. So, is Linnea...
I can't say for sure, but who knows?
Hey! Is this machine what you use to make stuff here? It looks really advanced.
Why use your hands when a machine can do the work? It would be a waste not to use the latest technology.
But where does a big machine like that get...
Well, it's a little complicated, but basically, everything we usually use here in the city is powered by...
Huh? How can...
Well, I'm not completely sure of all the details. When a trial is in session, the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale harvests people's belief in justice and converts it into energy to be used.
So that's what its other function is? Paimon heard that the But... Paimon still doesn't get it. How could something unreliable like people's beliefs be turned into a stable... Oh, yeah! So that means the Hydro Archon relies on the machine to take the energy created by belief and turn it into power for all of Fontaine.
Even though I've never heard anyone really put it that way before, besides indemnitium, we have another type of energy called... It isn't produced by the power of the Archon, but it is unstable by nature.
I thought I'd find you hard at work, but here you are chatting the day away. Since you're already talking...
You again? Didn't I already promise you that I'd have the more I owe to Conferee of Cover?
Yeah, but how do we know that you won't go running off by the end of this month? I want...
Huh?
Seems business isn't so great for the workshop.
Hey, hold on. Before you go around trying to collect payments, why don't... If Confrérie of Cabriere wants to poach clients from Northland Bank, that's fine. But I'm afraid you still owe the bank a hefty sum of mora. So why don't we work things out between us first?
You're from Northland Bank.
Traveler, Paimon! I didn't think I'd run into you here in Fontaine. What are the chances?
We're surprised to see you too. What are you doing here in Fontaine? You didn't want to stay in Snezhnaya?
Long story short, I've already been in Fontaine for some... But it seems that fate brought our paths together today. Not only will I have some good friends here, either way you look at it, it seems things are going to get a lot...
Pretty sure we'd want to avoid anything that you'd find interesting. Besides, our trip here has gone pretty well so far. Right, Traveler?
Hey, you!
Don't interrupt. It's not often I run into the Traveler like this.
You kidding? Aren't you the one looking for us? You really expect... Listen to me, boy. If you want your mora...
Hey, I just said not to interrupt. Oh, by the way, Traveler.
Hey! That's way over the line! All right, boys,
can you at least let me finish one sentence? Fine. Though the bank told me not to get rough with her, you're the ones who started it. This is an act of self-defense. You two will have to be my witnesses, okay?
I'm unsure this...
Bring it on. Amateur mistake. You can run, but you can't hide. Tidal wave.
Take flight.
What's your deal, Brad? How are you so strong if you're just a...
Oh, now you notice. It's a little late. Huh?
Now's my chance!
Huh. That was weird. I'm not sure. It's as if I suddenly lost control of my hydropower.
Strange. How could that happen? First time, Paim?
Never mind. It doesn't matter. If I want to stay sharp, I shouldn't be relying too much on my vision anyway. Besides, I always have my delusion in case I need it.
So what are you doing in Fontaine, child? I don't...
Well, I guess it's because...
Huh? What kind of reason is that?
I don't know, but recently, there seems to be some sort of restless power stirring inside.
Maybe you losing control...
That is a possibility. I can't remember if I ever mentioned it before, but when I was 14, it was during that time I learned nearly all of my abilities. The one who took me under her wing and taught me was named Skirk. She was always quiet and very mysterious. Nobody knew where she came from or what. One time, I asked her why she was willing to take me on as an apprentice. Because I had awakened it, and traces of it remained on me. She said that all my...
But what is it?
She never explained that. But my guess, in my dream, I was in the deepest depths of the sea, and the boundless seabed was all around me.
A whale? Oh, that sounds familiar! When we fought against you...
That's just an abstract form of a whale that I create using my elemental powers. It takes that shape because the scene I dreamt of the whale has always been stuck in my mind. I'll never forget it.
So you used the whale as inspiration for one of your moves? Huh. Seems a little twisted to Paimon. So why don't you just go ask your master? Maybe she knows the answer.
You make it sound so easy. Ever since the incident I experienced there, but it's been years now, and I've still found nothing.
Oh, it sounds like...
Yeah, I'm out of leads at this point. Oh, seems the time really flies when I'm talking.
What? More work?
No, it's more of a personal appointment. Lately, I've been sparring with some...
Official champion duelist?
Yep, in Fontaine, before a criminal goes to court. They're given one chance to defend their honor. The champion duelists are all-powerful fighters selected from among the nation's best. So engaging in such a duel is regarded as a symbol of defending your honor. If a criminal manages to win the duel, they'll be acquitted. And the worst-case scenario is that you're simply... Though it's rumored that Fontaine has a death penalty. From what I can tell, so really, the only people who opt to duel are those who have suffered a grave injustice in being accused, or those who greatly value their...
So, do many people actually get out of their trials?
Apparently, it's exceedingly rare for anyone to actually win. Fontaine probably enacted this system as a way to... Besides, none of the champion duelists are to be trifled with, which is exactly why I was itching to face them as... Apparently, the one I'm meeting today, Clorend, is the strongest of the champion duelists.
Well, that's child for you. Paimon feels like we heard...
Oh, before I forget, I want you to have...
Huh?
I'm just worried that it could become uncontrollable again. I'd be pretty upset if it got in the way. Besides, I just need you to hold on to it.
Paimon knows what you're up to. You just want an excuse to come talk to us again, don't you?
Whatever gave you that idea?
That sneaky guy. Well... Wow! Who could have seen that coming? The reporter who was barely around for most of the story was the murderer all along! Sorry. Paimon was just surprised, that's all. Paimon never... The whodunits here in Fontaine are a lot different than the light novels you see from Yai Publishing House. Both have them. It's so exciting to reach the moment when the... Oh, sorry about that. Lenny said that the Opera House is on Aranias, so let's go right back. Whoa! Now this is fancy! The opera at... Looks like there's a lot of people standing around the fountain up ahead.
Oh, Archon, please bless us with a...
I don't know why you always feel the need to ask so much. I'll be happy as long as our child is healthy and lives a peaceful...
I guess if there are, kid, there's no...
Maybe this is one of the customs in Fontaine.
Vache.
What's wrong?
Vache. Vache.
No, Paimon didn't say anything.
Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the water flowing through Fontaine converges here. It's customary.
Lynette?
When he asked...
Right.
What do you mean? There are a lot of people here, right?
Hey, you're not trying to scare Paimon.
I see. In fact, you might not be imagining things at all. I suspect that what you heard...
It's because of his sensitivity to the hydro element? But what would hearing a voice have...
When do you cry, Paimon?
Wait, what? What does that...
Just answer me.
When Paimon's really sad? Oh, and when Paimon's super happy. Oh, and also...
Then you should understand that tears contain your most intense... Like I just mentioned, the Fountain of Lucine is where all the flowing water in Fontaine converges. So maybe what you heard was the intense emotion coming from someone's tears.
So, what did the voice say? If you were hearing their emotions, then Paimon wonders what happened.
Rather than worrying about them, we should worry. Don't let that calm look of his fool you.
Oh, right. That...
Traveler and Paimon, good to see you. I knew...
Are you kidding? We wouldn't miss it for the world. We've been...
But you're actually right on time. The audience still hasn't started and... The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations.
Ooh, front rows...
Don't mention it. There's no need to keep...
Hey, Lenny! Could you come over here and take a look?
Oh, I'll be right there. Seems there's an issue with the stage props over there. That's Cal...
Yeah, we'll just go to our... Oh, these should be our seats. Come on, let's sit down. Hey, Traveler. Maybe we should... you little...
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt... I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Oh! So you heard all of that, did ya? Boy, you sure have good ears. Paimon thought she was keeping her voice down. Wait, that's not it. Paimon's... Sorry. Paimon's the... Oh! Paimon's got it.
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend...
Oh, so you're not friends with Linny, then. Oh, it's nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived at...
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Tevat, and as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself.
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see my...
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact...
Wait, Nervillet?
I saw you all chatting just now. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Whoa! Sorry for being so rude just now.
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you know, there's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose. I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first so I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise she...
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon. Huh. She sure has a smug and satisfied...
Very good. That is for the best. No need...
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro...
All right, please wait just...
Yay! The show is finally about to start! Oh, they're dimming the lights! The show must be starting! Sorry.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give...
Hello, everyone.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not so. I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness. Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Oh, good point. That's...
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage moment. Oh, and before I forget, you never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless. But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes. It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do. Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skill. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage.
Guess you're right. Paimon couldn't believe it.
Thank you, everyone. But our magical journey, the magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen. I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive, and in which case, I have ample time. So, for my next trick, I will please, if my assist, there are 2 boxes and only 2 boxes. One is here, and I'm sure many of our clever audience members have. Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. Now, please, everyone pay.
Wow! Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lenny have actual super...
The lucky audience member will be generated by... It selects numbers entirely at random. Now then, let's begin. Let me see. Oh, row 7, please, come forward. My assistant will take you beside... I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. You don't need to do anything, but no matter what strange thing, if the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up. You might even find yourself in the Fortress of Meropide.
Oh.
All right, before I enter the magic box, like this. 60, 59, 58. I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 and just...
Ooh, Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that!
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't be trusted. Let's come on, repeat after me.
60, 59, 58!
That's right, perfect. Keep it going.
54, 53? Why aren't you counting, Nervalet?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting and merely a consequence of my identity and personality. Do not worry about me.
Oh, all right. You look so serious that 40, 30...
Mr. Linney, are you...
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all. What was that noise? Did you hear it too? Not sure. Anyway, 25!
What's wrong, Mr. Linney?
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration.
Never mind the decorations. There's no...
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect.
19!
It seems things aren't quite going as planned. It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know it can 10 seconds and change is till...
10!
Almost there now. Swapping 2 people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7!
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5! 4! 3!
Whoops! That doesn't count!
0!
Ta-da!
Is this part of the Mr. Laney, you're going to...
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still in that box, right?
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers.
right. If this was just an accident, then we must...
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough. Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed it appears that this incident was not merely some mishap, and there are many indications that it is connected with...
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before!
I know the truth. I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linny, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Huh? Why me? This whole...
No, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making...
That can't be right! He was in the box on the stage the entire time! We could even hear his voice! Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances!
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute...
I just think that he... Well...
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense.
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover...
I mean, of course, my dear. That's right. I mean you, traveler. You'll support Linny, won't you? Then there's no problem at all. But with Linny's help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws really are the most boring possible outcome. So, no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better place to hold such a riveting show?
It wasn't a draw.
I understand. Charges have no... Well, traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But are you willing to act as Mr. Linny's... Very well. Linny and the audience may begin to leave...
A day isn't that long.
Sorry about everything that happened just now.
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing...
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. I understand. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask, I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not. And I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. Even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate! As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible. Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh? Don't worry, Paimon used her own savings to buy them. It wasn't from our travel funds.
I think they look cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette!
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't, but with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially good thing you agreed to be our attorneys.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, just leave it to... since we're going to start investigating, Paimon has a question first.
Oh, well... I'm afraid that would involve some of our...
The secrets behind our magic are past saving.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our... 'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, our magic... But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what... We should go somewhere else if we're going to
All right, let's go have a look while the investigation... Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly...
Huh? What?
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linny's assistants named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troop, the assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with... This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of... However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotech. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Linny...
But he doesn't have a motive!
Are you both good...
Well, you can't say we're good friends.
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust... I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of him... I've seen a lot of cases. And I can tell you that Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime.
So this is the rope that broke and cut. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks? Why are you suddenly so serious, traveler? Whoa. Look! Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something... Wait! Why don't you write all this down? Hello there. What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troop members, the seats were all booked in advance. So we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list. Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of an... Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide. The Magic Troop members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no person. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troop at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearance.
Were the victims of previous...
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same... Mage range.
Okay then.
No need to be so formal. It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these...
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number?
You're trying to help them?
Linny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? Well, we thought there might be a
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks... I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting...
That much checks out. Linny reserved...
Let you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
I see that you're investigating the area. If you find any new and interesting leads...
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Then why don't I tell you...
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Linny's trick with bated breath. So no one paid it much mind.
That makes...
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Linny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps, jumping atop the water tank or something like that. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
Wait, wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing. Oh, that's true.
That does remind Paimon, though.
Linny's still talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of explaining to do. I think someone will be assigned.
Hey, you! Yes, both of you!
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No?
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus, Demoiselle's various daily needs and...
Huh? Boss? That was...
Well, I am the second generation president.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer...
No need. You don't have to call me boss.
Okay, if you say so. Not that we're members of Spina di Rosula.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest, judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely...
Really? We think so too! That's why we're... But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition. Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't she? But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times. Liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her.
to check chemistry marks.
All right, I've answered your question. Now,
Wait a minute. Did the answer count?
So you have exam today, right?
well, I say it does. But don't worry,
But
you
when you're
won't hear
checking,
any
like when
pointless
you're going, you
questions
can
from
tell me
me.
much before.
In your opinion, do you
How
think
much
it's
you
right
got
to
maths
treat a
today?
trial like it's an opera?
You didn't check. Yeah, when you're going to check chemistry marks, tell me more.
And why would that be?
Okay, then I'll ask them.
See, Silver and Maloose? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, demoiselle. I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent, no matter how wonderful that, if that can be.
All right, that now. I need to make some prep.
Wait! That's more like it.
Far be it from me to. You wish to.
You have a point. And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like...
I have nothing to add.
Oh, all right.
We'll be making some preparations